Hello and welcome to this week's broker training. This week we're doing selling skills. It's our second part of our selling skills series, and today's focus is overcoming objections. A lot of times when we're trying to promote our product or service, it can be difficult when somebody poses a question that's challenging or perhaps negative. It can shut us down and really eliminate the opportunity to convert that sale, not only for the person we're working with, but in a group setting, it can affect everyone in the audience. So it's a really important opportunity, a very important selling skill in terms of being successful out there in the marketplace. My name is Erin Ackenheil. I own Blackpoint Insurance, which is a managing general agency. At Blackpoint, we try to help Medicare agents and brokers learn to launch, grow, and retain their businesses. We work with agents nationwide, helping them develop their sales skills, helping them to start their business plan and to succeed out there and grow their business. Selling skills is a really important component. Last week, we talked about how to conduct successful sales seminars. A big piece of that is the questions and objections that come up along the way and knowing how to manage that to help you be more successful. It actually is quite an opportunity versus the challenge it can appear to be. So for now, let's get started. If you miss all or part of this, we're streaming live on YouTube, so you can watch the replay on YouTube, and we'll send little tidbits out on our LinkedIn and our Facebook pages just to help you get some of the best tips of the day and help you be successful. Today's agenda is a full one. First, we're going to talk about the Blackpoint commercial. With all the different choices out there of how to grow your business, why work with Blackpoint over any other partner that's out there? How is it beneficial as compared to going out just on your own without anybody supporting you? So I'll talk a little bit about Blackpoint and how we work, and you may find that you'd like to work with us directly. Then we're going to talk about an objections overview. What is an objection? How does it work? What's the cycle for managing objections? How can we practice and train to get better at overcoming objections when we're out there doing our sales presentations? Then we're going to talk about some specific examples of how to reframe some of the common objections you may hear. Now, you can apply this to any scenario. It's a good idea to think about your business. What are the common objections that come up? And think about what is your answer to that? What makes sense? And then you can take action and move forward. And then, of course, there's always opportunity for Q&A and next steps. Because we go live, we don't take live questions, but I do have my chat box open should anybody have any questions today. But for now, let's jump in. So Blackpoint, who we are and what we do. So Blackpoint is a Medicare agency, an MGA, and we help people launch, grow, and retain their Medicare businesses. These are usually agents and brokers. We're an alternative to going directly to the carriers to do business. So we help you with all the contracting and get you set up and ready to go. It can be very difficult as an entrepreneur, as a new business owner, to know exactly how to get contracted, to get the business support for growing leads and developing your business, to get the sales training all out on your own. And the carriers aren't necessarily going to provide that to you. So by working with a strong upline partner in your business, it can help you grow more successfully. Now, as you can see, under the Blackpoint umbrella, we work with all these different insurance companies and more. So you'll see all those names. We hold that arrangement with a larger partner called Van Berg and Associates. So think of Van Berg as the field marketing organization, the larger organization. Van Berg holds that contract, and we're a managing general agency under the Van Berg umbrella. The type of support you receive directly from Van Berg, they're a premier partner located in Northern California, but work with agents nationwide. First of all, they have a really nice website to work with, agentpitstop.com. On that agentpitstop.com, you can see ideas of marketing pieces that have been created that you can plug and play and use. You can make a request to get certain marketing support. You can do all of your contracting requests through Agent Pitstop. You can monitor all of the enrollments that you've processed through the Agent Pitstop tool. It's really incredibly helpful. I know my agents like to use it for the rate finder capability. So imagine you're trying to sell something in Florida or Hawaii, and you just want to understand what the competitive rates are by carrier, by product. You can go in there, plug in a zip code, and know exactly what's available so that you really can sell everywhere, and you don't need to feel like you need to memorize all of those rates or know all those different areas. So very, very helpful. It helps working with Van Berg to streamline the contracting process. What are all the different requirements for each company? How do you get contracted and ready to sell in the smoothest and easiest fashion possible? It can be confusing, and if you miss a step, you may not be ready to sell a certain product or service at an important selling time, like open enrollment. You want to make sure you're ready to go. Many of us who are entrepreneurs, we don't have the money or the bandwidth or the skill set to be our own marketing department, developing creative, doing mailers, that type of thing. Van Berg is remarkably helpful. They have a huge library of materials available that you can use to plug and play and customize, and a marketing team to help support you if you need things. And they're also very helpful if you need something new that could be relevant in the market. They're going to discuss what you need and also deliver on those and help support you in growing your business and also retaining your clients. App processing support, remember, you can see all of your applications in one place on Agent Pit Stop. Paper applications can all be sent directly to them versus multiple different carriers, and they're going to help you track that enrollment all the way through completion. So if there's missing information, they're going to do the research for you, get back to you, and let you know what you need to get from your client. Saves you time, makes you more efficient, and keeps you selling. And IT support as well. One of the biggest things that I love about Van Berg is that they use Sunfire Matrix, which is an enrollment tool. We now do the vast majority of our Medicare Advantage and Part D drugs and all of our scopes of appointments all through this one Sunfire tool. You can literally email or text a scope. Very simple, open it with a code, they type their name and send it back. It is so streamlined, so easy to use, and makes you so much more efficient. In terms of Blackpoint specifically, Blackpoint is a general agency under this Van Berg umbrella. And what you'll get from Blackpoint, in contrast to Van Berg, is someone like me who's helping you with local market support, helping you create your business plan. What market do you want to go after? What zip codes do you want to target? What marketing plan makes sense? Is it direct mailers? Is it newspaper? Is it radio? Is it grassroots efforts? I can help you with all of that. I'm also here to help you with additional training and support. Today's an example of that. Overcoming objections is a big part of the sales process. How do you incorporate that and make it part of what you do to help you be successful in the marketplace? So I'm here to really help you with that and help you build your business. Also, we have a CRM tool called Salesforce that can be made available to you. Tons of templates in there for a different variety of responses that you would have in the Medicare space. Things to streamline your business, make it easier, make you more efficient, allow you to get support and assistance from our back office. So really just a great overall system. You don't lose any commissions when you work with Blackpoint and Van Berg. You get 100% of your commissions working with us. You just get this added layer of support, and our agencies are paid by the insurance companies. It's a win-win for all of us. So I really encourage you to look at Blackpoint as a potential option for helping you grow your business. So commercial aside, let's talk about the training topic of today. What is an objection? So you see this guy here, he's objecting. We've all had this fiery guy in the crowd when we're doing a seminar, and it can be really alarming when someone objects strongly or negatively in a group setting. When they ask the question in a soft way, it's still an objection nonetheless. But I feel like a lot of us have trouble when the person is especially aggressive. And so how do you diffuse that and turn things around to your benefit, right? And to grow your business? One of the things is just understanding what is an objection. And really, when I think of objections, it's really just a question that sounds like resistance to your product or service. So people can be very aggressive with this sometimes very, very negative. Take a breath, be prepared to reframe that and address that concern. How you handle that heckler or that objector is really going to not only help you grow with that person, maybe you'll get them, maybe you won't, but everybody else in the room is being impacted by your response to that individual. So it's critically important. Try not to take offense. In my opinion, questions or concerns or objections, negative or positive, it's just a sign of engagement. And it really is an opportunity for you to build trust, figure out what would be a barrier in terms of enrollment, and then work around it. So looking at it as a positive and handling it in such a manner. A lot of it has to do with reframing your mindset, right? So if you react to a negative reaction with negativity, that's more of a reflection on you than the asker of the question. So getting your mind in the right space, getting the right attitude, taking a breath, being anticipatory of the things that can come up are going to make it a smoother and easier experience for you. Thinking of objections, negative or positive, as interest in your plan versus an attack on you as a person or an attack on the product or service that you're selling. Looking at it as an opportunity versus a barrier. It's a group setting, so your response matters to everybody in the room. Before you take action, check yourself. Is my attitude all right? Can I respond to this in a reasonable manner? Now let me take action, and that's going to lead to more success as I'm addressing these concerns out there. It's really, really important to keep your cool. And I think the easiest way to do that is to be prepared in advance for the questions that may come. Say, I've been there, done that. I've heard that situation before, and I'm going to address this in a calm and clear and concise manner. So let's talk about the cycle of objections, creating opportunities, as I like to say. One of the things that's very important when encountering objections or questions is to listen carefully. It's a very tempting habit when you know a business inside and out. I know I do, and it happens to me all the time. You know something so well that you anticipate the question that somebody's going to ask. The reality is sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong, or sometimes you're partially right, but you miss an opportunity to get the complete information when you cut someone off, or you simply just don't listen and you don't hear exactly what they have to say. So pause, take time to listen carefully, be respectful, hear their question, make sure you understand what's being asked before you start addressing your answer and going for that directly. So really, really important. It's okay to validate someone's concern, even if you don't agree with it. And you can validate through the reframing process, or you can validate by nodding and assuring and saying things like, I hear you, I understand what the question is, right? And so just really making sure that you're validating the concern, you're agreeing not necessarily with what exactly is being said, but the sentiment and the concern that it's causing, right? Is it causing them anxiety, stress? Do they not understand? I get what you're saying here. Let me address that for you, right? So validating what they have to say is super important. And that comes from listening. And you can do that with a lot of nonverbal cues as well. Nodding and agreeing and understanding can tell that you're really getting what a person is telling you. You care about it, and you definitely want to address it. If you seem like you don't care, or you're aloof, or you're not listening, it's going to be hard for people to receive the information. Even what you're responding with is completely valid. Now, a lot of times you can use the validation process in the reframing. So if someone's saying something negative, like, I hate dogs, right? Who would ever say that? You could be saying, like, I hear what you're saying. The question is, what makes some people like dogs and some people not like dogs, right? You know, that kind of thing. So you're not discounting what they've said, but you've reframed it in a way that lets positivity come in. And you've also acknowledged their concern or their fear, and you're ready to answer that question. So you really want to make sure that you are answering the question that's asked. Reframing doesn't mean that you ignore the questions that asked and turn it into a question that you want to answer. It means you reposition that information in a way that's more positive and more all-encompassing of what a person actually means. Sometimes they're throwing out a negative statement, but they're really addressing a broader concern. So it's really important to acknowledge that. Somebody says, well, I don't like this plan because it doesn't cover foreign travel. The concern is, how am I going to be covered when I travel, right? So you're still addressing that concern, but then you're presenting solutions that could work for that person's situation. So really, really important to think that through. Then you confirm, did that answer your question? Did that make sense? Do you see why a lot of people are enrolling in this plan to get the foreign travel coverage? Closing, always giving an assumptive close after you provided a positive answer and a solution to their situation. I always bring my dog up here, not my personal dog, but he's as cute as my dog, my Mr. Stanley. Preparation is the key to success. So one of the things that I always encourage people to do, write out common objections. What are you hearing over and over again? There's very few surprises once you've been in a business for a while. So while you're not going to anticipate when they're talking, you're going to listen exactly to what their concern is and make sure you gain all that valuable information. It's also true that you do hear some of the same objections over and over again. Write them out. What are those objections that you hear? think about what they're saying. What are they really trying to get at? What's the emotion? Is it fear? Is it concern? Does it sound too good to be true? Is there something valid that's missing that you need to address? And then really be thoughtful about your answers. How would you reframe that to make it positive for the broader group? And how would you respond to address the concern at hand? If they're saying something negative to you, think about how you can address that they would gain comfort and be ready to buy, or at least leaving that experience with something positive so it doesn't negatively affect the rest of the people in your group. Then you have to practice. You have to write out those responses and practice over and over again by yourself in front of the mirror, with a teammate, with a mentor or coach, with your guidance counselor at Blackpoint Insurance, whoever it is that can help navigate this process for you. We're here to help and make it easier. And the more prepared you are, the greater comfort you're going to have and the more successful you're going to be. So let's jump into a few concrete examples. I'm going to give one that's specific to an experience where you might be selling an HMO product. And then I'm going to talk about some general objections that you might hear in any business, even Medicare or anything else. Things like, I don't want to buy, or I don't want to buy today. How can you address those and reframe them to potentially gain that sale and or earn the trust of others so that you can make yourself available for gaining more sales that day? So number one, I wanted to address reframing in action, the gatekeeper. So a lot of times when you're out there marketing Medicare Advantage HMOs, people get concerned about the role of the primary care physician and limitations in terms of seeing specialists. That negative buzzword for a primary care physician can be gatekeeper. That's something you may hear more or less out in the field, in webinars, seminars, that type of thing. What you need to think about is key considerations. When someone talks about a gatekeeper, are they afraid that they're not going to have the access to the care that they need? Is that really what's stemming that question? Have they had a personal prior bad experience? What is it that's really underneath their concern with the gatekeeper? A lot of times it's fear that I won't get access to the care. And so that's something you want to be thinking about when you address in the answer. A lot of times somebody will come off negatively and say, I don't like any of those HMOs. There's a gatekeeper. Those plans stink. And it's like, okay, I hear what you're saying. That can be a big concern, right? So validation. The question is, for the broader audience, what is the role of the primary care physician on XYZ plan, and how might that benefit me, right? So that's a way you could position and re-explain. And then you can talk about the fact that the major local medical group in the area really encompasses the vast majority of the doctors. A lot of them have been using these doctors already. And unless it's urgent or emergency, if they trust in working with that relationship, it could be a good fit for them with the product and service that's available, right? So repositioning it, figuring out how to turn that around in a way that people can see the good in it. For some people, that type of product's still not going to be a fit, but you haven't lost your whole audience in explaining this to them. There can be some really good benefits to a role of a primary care doctor, whether they're with an HMO plan or not. So just explaining the value of how a good PCP can help them with their overall healthcare can go a long way in showing how trustworthy you are and how you can assist them along the process of navigating a really good healthcare plan, regardless of their ultimate choice for insurance. Another example that comes up a lot, and I see this in the Medicare space, is why do I need this? I don't take any prescription drugs. I don't want to take a Part D plan. I think Medicare A and B is enough. Why do I need a Medigap plan? Why do I need an Advantage plan? I just don't buy it, right? So the first thing I would consider is, if you're getting this type of question after you've presented quite a bit of your information, consider why they're asking that question. Maybe you've missed a few key points in the features and benefits of your presentation that you have an opportunity to reinforce. Re-emphasizing the big why. You need to think about, why do people need the products and services that you offer? Make sure you're positioning that at the beginning of every presentation and reinforcing it as you go over key points of the benefits that are covered and included. So be thinking about that. If you're getting this kind of objection, you might be missing something along the way that's leading to this objection. But here you are, it's come. Why do I need this? I don't want the prescription coverage. I don't even take any prescriptions. Why would I want to bother with this? So the question is, why is everyone buying this additional coverage? The question is, why do people feel like they need a Medigap Medicare Advantage, or Part D prescription drug plan. So just reframing that to give you the opportunity to address and answer. You haven't changed their question. They're saying, why do I need it? You're just reframing it in a way that's a little bit more positive. You're repeating it in a way that everybody in the audience can hear, and it gives you an opportunity to reinforce your key points. Did you miss something along the way? Well, here's why most people are getting it. They're getting it to cover the gaps, the deductibles, and the co-insurance of the plan. A lot of people are buying this because they want additional coverage for foreign travel and vision and hearing. A lot of people are buying the Part D even when they don't take prescriptions, just in case. So they have Part D available, but they also don't want to face penalties down the road, and explaining that part of the process. So this gives you an opportunity to address, reinforce, and really appease their concerns, and hopefully make that into a sale and help them understand and gain perspective as to why this might be important for them. The third objection, I'm not buying today. Have you ever had a seminar and people walk in the room and the first thing they're saying is, I'm just listening, I'm not buying today, I'm looky-loo, I'm just not gonna do it. And a lot of agents and brokers that I talked to said, oh, everybody was shoppers. And it's okay to stop there and say, everybody was shopping today and nobody really wanted to buy. But I urge you to think about the fact that there could be some buyers in that audience. So the thing that you want to really be able to distinguish with is, are there legitimate concerns like I don't make decisions for myself and I need somebody else here to help me make the decision? Or do I just need you to do a really good job and earn my business today? Because I've seen plenty of people who initially said there's absolutely no way I'm buying anything. And then they realized that this product or service was the absolute best fit for their situation, and they really didn't find a need to think about it. Versus someone who shouldn't be making those decisions by themselves and uses family members to help them with that decision. So certainly you want to have those key considerations. One of the best ways to overcome this, when people are just verbally kind of mentioning that to you when they come into a meeting, is, well, today is one opportunity to enroll. There's certainly other opportunities, but I'll try to address all of your concerns. Is there anything you want to make sure that I address today and cover in the meeting, right? So just kind of getting them there and understanding that. Another way to reframe this in a broader group setting is, the question is, what are the enrollment timelines? It's the middle of open enrollment. Just so you know, I am taking applications today. So for those of you who feel like this is a great fit for your situation, and if I'm able to answer all of your questions, I'll be here to help you complete the paperwork and get you started. We also have until December 7th to take open enrollment applications. So I urge everybody to check in with me after the meeting, either to go ahead and complete your paperwork and turn that in, or to set up the follow-up appointment to make sure we can get you taken care of before the end of the open enrollment period. So just creating that situation, creating that dynamic, and then doing mini closes throughout your presentation, expecting people to buy. Do you see why a lot of people are choosing this plan during open enrollment? Because it solves a lot of those questions that you've been having concerns about. So just really taking that opportunity to say, I'm not going to take that as a be-all, end-all. I'm not buying today, because sometimes if you do a great job, you do have the opportunity to create the opportunity to sell them now, or certainly set up a follow-up appointment in short order to get them closed down the road. Now, a big objection that you're going to see or notice is, why should I buy from you? And sometimes this is the silent objection, right? You've done this great work in presentation, you've done all of your skills, you've promoted the features and benefits, only to follow up with a person a week or two later and find, thank you, I called the insurance company directly enrolled, or enrolled with another agent. So you need to spend some time, whether it's asked or not, talking about why you over everybody else they could possibly buy from. This is your chance to sell yourself and dispel your concerns over your loyalty to them. A lot of people are concerned that your commissions or other factors are driving your recommendation. They need to trust that their best interests are at heart, and you're putting themselves in your shoes and in their shoes and doing what you would do for a family member, treating them so well and making sure they get the best possible coverage for their situation. So you need to drive home those feelings. And if you've missed the boat on that, you really need to make sure you're reinforcing what you bring to the table. I think a good reframe to someone saying, well, why should I buy from you over this other broker I'm talking to is, why should I work with an agent or broker, and what makes Aaron or Blackpoint Insurance or you a good fit? And then that gives you opportunity to position your customer service, your follow through, handling their concerns, your thorough approach to making sure their enrollment is completed and reevaluating decisions at every opportunity. reinforcing what makes you special, emphasizing how it works. It never costs you anything to work with an agent or broker. As an agent or broker, I have the benefit of looking at everything that's available in the market and making the best possible recommendations for you versus a carrier that can only recommend the best of what they have to offer. So just really talking about there's a benefit for them. It's a win for the insurance company's growing business. It's a win for you as an agent to grow your business. But most importantly, it's a win for your clients to get the complete information to help make them make the best possible choices for their decisions now and in the future. So building that long-term trust, making it a real relationship versus transactional, and showing how much you care. This is a great opportunity to establish that and to grow your business. So a couple of reframing reminders. Remember, selling is easy when you think of it from the perspective of you believe in the product or service, and you're really just trying to help people get to the best possible situation, whether that's a product, a service, whatever it may be. Some keys: be sure to listen every step of the way. Listen thoroughly. Listen to understand, not just to answer. Stay positive. Negative or raising voices or shutting people down is not going to gain you trust with the person you're working with or anyone else. It's super important to validate their concerns. Understand where they're coming from, not just the words they're saying, but what do they mean down deep? Is this really fear? What is it that's driving the question, the objection, potentially the negativity? Be sure to reframe for larger groups. Make sure you're repositioning that to still directly be answering the question, but to position in a way that's more positive and takes out negative buzzwords. And be confident. You know your stuff, you've practiced, you're ready to roll every step of the way. So I want to thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you joining. If you like what you heard today and want to hear more trainings, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Blackpoint Insurance. That helps us grow. So for those of you who are already working with us or our partners out there or even our clients, be sure to like our YouTube channel at Blackpoint Insurance. You can also follow me on LinkedIn or Facebook, the Blackpoint Insurance page, or Erin Ackenheil for more information. If you'd like to contract with us, please don't hesitate to go to blackpointinsurance.com. That's also where you'll find the schedule of additional trainings, or email us directly if you'd like to work with us at Blackpoint. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Good selling out there. Take care.